Wasn't plain sailing for United and Amorim against the Norwegian champs, but they eventually picked up a much-needed win thanks to 2 Højlund goals. Ruben on Rasmus Højlund says, while the United boss had doubts earlier in the week as to whether Marcus Rashford could be the number 9 he needs, saying Marcus will have all the help of the staff, the club and the fans because he's a Manchester United boy, but he has to be the first one that wants it and wants it badly. Is Marcus career in trouble? Look, he scored at early doors at Parlour, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Look, I'm not 100% backing Marcus here, but it's not easy being up front at Old Trafford. And if you're not getting the right supply it's really difficult.
Absolutely. As I said before, when a new manager comes in, everybody's on the same playing level again. Look, he's probably a little bit... He's not as confident as he was, if I'm being honest. When I look at him play, his belief has probably gone down a little bit as well. He's got to come back, and it's all about scoring goals for strikers. Once you get back scoring goals on a regular basis, then suddenly you start making the runs and playing differently. So I think he's got a really good opportunity now to get his, get back on track, his career. And England as well. He'd be looking at England saying, look, if I can play back to where I was when I got into that England squad, can I do it again? And he will get straight back in the England squad, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, that was a massive kick in the backside, wasn't it, when he left out the England squad?
Yeah, but look, you can't feel sorry for yourself, though, Al, as a player. You know, everybody's has bad spells in their career. What I like about characters of footballers is when you have a bad spell, is how you respond to that. And he's got to respond to it really well, work a little bit harder in training. And the manager sees every day. If I was a manager, I'd be looking at all their body language every day in training. If he's still putting it in, he's putting that effort in, he's trying to get better, even when you're having a bad time, that's when I like, well, I'm going to stick with this kid. He's going to be one of my big stars because I can see the work he's putting in the training field, and it will turn for him. It does turn for you at times. It's like football clubs. You go for a bad spell. You can say Man United going for a bad spell at the moment as a club. But it will turn again. It will somewhere along the line. It will get back to where Man United were in the 90s, probably, and start winning trophies again.
Let's get the thoughts now of a man who wrote in the Sun earlier this week that Amorim needs a Mourinho-type chat with Marcus Rashford. Very good morning to Sun's football writer Neil Custis. Neil, a very good morning.
Morning, Neil.
Hi, good morning, both.
Neil, a Mourinho-type chat. What are we talking about here? An arm round the shoulder, or are we talking about a good old rollicking?
Well, I mean, I was comparing it to, Dele Alli when he in the documentary about Tottenham, when he said to him, yesterday I was 20 and today I'm 56, and basically saying that, your career as a footballer can go in a flash.
Yeah.
I mean, you both know, obviously, far better than me, that it's there and gone, and you think, hang on, what happened there? And this is what's happened with Marcus Rashford. He's now 27. He's had one great season, which he built up to, playing well in and out. But it's been 18 months now, and you have to question whether football remains his big priority sometimes. Because, and I'm not talking about charity work and everything like that. That is excellent. That is using his spare time well. I'm talking about the party lifestyle. I'm talking about going to New York during the international break. Is that a good look? I'm talking about things like that. And
these are things that will cross the manager's mind, won't they?
Absolutely. And there's competition there. There's Garnacho, there's Ahmad, both of whom are playing well. He's not a shoo-in to get back into that team. I mean, the competition up front's not huge, I must admit, despite Højlund's goals last night. But we've been waiting a while for Marcus Rashford to get back to his best, and I think 18 months is quite a long time. And I don't see a player playing with a smile on his face anymore. I see a player who seems to have the weight of the world on his shoulders, who's playing within himself, who just can't find, just can't find that form again. Now, Erik ten Hag did everything to protect him, did everything to try and get it back. And in the first season, obviously, did with those 30 goals. Second season, it went. And so you just got to hope that Ruben Amorim can do it.
What about Amorim, Neil? Let's say it's really early, Ipswich and then last night.
Yeah.
But are you liking this guy? Do you think he will get a big improvement to Manchester United?
But, I mean, you can only work with what you've and he's got a bang average Manchester United squad and a bang average first team. He's got a mid-table Premier League team, and that's what Manchester United are right now. And no matter how good a manager you are, you can only get so much out of certain players. And I just think they're certainly not, you can name 6, 7 teams who are better than Manchester United right now. And I don't know how he makes them so much better than those 6 or 7 teams.
Neil, I've got to ask you about Man City while you're on. I mean, I think most people are scratching their heads still saying, well, what has gone wrong? I mean, to lose 5 games and the draw in midweek in the Champions League as well, which was like 3-0 up, cruising, drew 3-3. And now they go to Liverpool, who are absolutely flying. So how do you see this weekend going for Man City? I went for a draw, but now Alan's trying to put me off and go for a Liverpool win. I'm not too sure how it's going to go.
I mean, I can't see anything but a Liverpool win. I was at the game at the Etihad in the midweek, and obviously they're cruising at 3-0, but that was the problem. They cruised. They even there's a thing about Man City which is sort of likeable in many ways, is that they never seem to know how to put their foot on the ball when they're commanding in some games that go from them. It's happened often in Europe before they actually won the Champions League, of being in command. I remember against Real Madrid 2 or 3 seasons ago when they were totally in command of their semi-final and kept going for it instead of just saying, right, let's hang on to this lead, let's just slow it down and all. And this is what happens. They continue to go for it, which is admirable in many ways, but then the game can go against them. Now, the other thing with them is that I think they've relied on a core of, say, 5 or 6 players for a number of years. And if you think how deep they've gone into so many tournaments, how many games they've played, they're just exhausted. It happened with Manchester United. I remember they won 3 titles in a row, and they weren't even close to winning a title for 3 years because they were just, that core of the team was exhausted, and it had to change. And I think that's what's happening with City now.
Neil, what about just a final one, Neil? Leicester go to Brentford. Van Nistelrooy, do you think he'll do well? And did you get a chance to talk to him at United?
Yeah, I mean, I was there when he came and was a success as a player, and then was obviously there for his 4 games as a caretaker manager when it wasn't the toughest run of fixtures. To be fair, he did lift them, but he lifted them in a place where he was loved. He's had 1 season at PSV Eindhoven. He's had these 4 games. I did a piece this morning saying, like, what do coaches, like Dave Challoner saying to Stockport further down the league, ever think, where they've had this career where they've taken sort of lower clubs up the tables, and they know they're never going to get a chance at the big job because they haven't got the big name. And Leicester have gone for the big name, but not necessarily, have the managerial experience maybe to back it up. Might be wrong. Kevin Keegan went into Newcastle, hadn't been a manager and did an incredible job. But the weight of passion for him at Manchester United was behind him, and that's why those 4 games went so well. Leicester's a very different job, a very different set of players, and a very difficult job to walk into.
Yeah, I agree. Neil, thank you, mate.
Thanks,
Neil
Neil.
Custis there.
Thank you.
From the Sun.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.